about how you had to open up a bottle in halftime on them. Is it frustrating that they're not playing the same way in the first half that they are in the second half after you go and yell at them for about 15 minutes?
Well, I just know what they can do, and I know what their potential is, and so it's frustrating watching the first half when they don't play the way I know they're capable of playing. So I think teams get up for us, and we kind of match their intensity, and then we go in the halftime, and we settle down a little bit and understand we got to play our style regardless of what everybody else is doing.
Is there something you can do?
I guess I should
or something
start.
They need to do together to get them to come off straight from the.
You know, I think we just keep addressing it before the game and talking and preparing how we've been doing, and prepare for try to put together a 40-minute game. So I don't know if I need to yell at them before the game starts, but I think they understand it, and I think that they're conscious of it, and hopefully they'll turn it around, so I don't have to get all upset about everything.
The ladies mentioned that there was a bit of a transition period between Holly last year, best friend, joking around all the time, to Holly 8C, who's now yelling and screaming and trying to get the most out of them and trying to get most of their potential out of them.
Well, when you're assistant coach, you're a go-between between the head coach and the players, and that's your role, and I understood that. And now that I'm in a different role, I still have a great relationship with them, but I have to make sure things get done. And so as it's difficult for them, sometimes it's difficult for me, but the end result's the most important. And that's what I'm trying to do.
When we talked at media days before the season started, it was about the players as far as you were concerned. It wasn't about you replacing Pat or anything like that. The team didn't have the expectations that a typical Tennessee women's team has, but they've almost achieved you're right back where a normal Tennessee women's team would be.
Well, I think our expectations within our team were very high and still are. I don't think the outside general public had anticipated us doing what we've been doing, but our goals are still the same. And yeah, it's been fun. Obviously, when you're not the one getting hunted, and I think they've lived up to what I think their potential is, and my expectations of how they could play. It has never wavered. I thought we could be a very good team, very good defensive team. If we made a commitment to it, and I think they have. They made a strong commitment on getting better.
Is this the same Izzy Harrison as was last year? We just didn't see it, or has she progressed immensely over the offseason?
I think you're seeing a very much improved Isabel Harrison. I think she sat and watched Lori Johnson, Vicky Ball had to play a role. She was playing behind the seniors, and I think they did some things for her. As far as teaching her on the court, off the court, those type of things. And then I think you're seeing the result of Izzy going to work in the summer and making a commitment. And then it's her spot down low. I mean, she has seniority down there. She's the oldest. I mean, if you say sophomore's the oldest, she's the oldest down in the post area. So I think she's taken a hold of that and taken off with it.
Is the biggest difference her physical skills now, or confidence? I mean, is it physical or mental, the biggest difference?
You know what? I think it's a combination. I think when she saw success on the court, in practice, and during the games, I think that just built momentum for her. And I think physically, she's done a lot with Dean and did a lot during the off season to get her to me where she is now.
Holly, do you foresee a possibility of getting both Phillips and Moore more than just kind of the mop-up minutes at the end? Would you like to maybe find a way to sneak them in for a couple at other points of the game too? Or
I would. I think Nia has improved so much. She didn't come this summer, but I think she's improved so much, and I want to really get her some minutes. When it's a up and down game, a little bit physical, I tend to hesitate to put her in, but I tell you, she's made tremendous strides on where she is, and she's like Izzy last year. She's got a tremendous upside to her. Jasmine, I think, just needs time on the practice court. She hadn't been practicing because of her injuries, and game experience she hadn't been because that was our choice. So I think when she gets those two, a lot more practice and a lot more game experience, then she'll be able to help us a little bit more.
Holly, y'all have been vulnerable at times in giving up the three ball and players coming in that made 11 of 18. How much has that gotten everybody's attention?
Well, that's all we practiced yesterday, and that's all we'll do today. I mean, we have a tendency to give up the 3 ball, and we better. You want to see somebody upset. If we give up somebody 11 for 18, I will not be a happy camper.
With your limited bench, how much did the Georgia game show you about how many minutes you can push these girls to, and kind of know the point of when they become exhausted and how long you can keep them in there?
Well, I think we're in great shape. I think we're in good condition. And I thought Georgia, I had to really tell myself to use our timeouts wisely, and that's what I chose to do. So we get media timeouts every 4 minutes, but I wanted to make sure that we got a rest. But I think we're in fabulous shape. We've pushed them in practice, so we've got them there. And we could play 6. Would love to play our whole bench because we're very capable of doing that. But we need 5 players at a time playing well together, and if that's what it takes, we'll do that.
Holly, are you more mindful than of using timeouts other than just the media timeouts if you feel like it the way
Absolutely.
the game is going?
Absolutely. I did that in Georgia. I'm usually one to sit on timeouts, but I thought Georgia, with their up tempo and their pace of how they played, I thought it was very important for me to use our timeouts wisely.
Holly, talk about Bashard Graves leading the SEC in double-doubles to this point, and that's kind of, I don't know if that was an expected thing, the production that you've gotten from her, but that's kind of helped you and put these ladies where they are right now.
Well, I expected Bashard to come in and contribute, not to the level she is playing. She's solid, she's athletic, she just goes to work, and you don't really notice her until you look at the stat sheet. I'm extremely proud of her, and she's been put in some tough situations as a freshman and has handled them. She just competes, and when you get in there and compete and have a love for the game, which I think she does, great things will happen, and I think that's what you'll see with Bashar. She loves the game, she loves to play, and she loves to play here at Tennessee. So I'm really, really proud of her. She takes things really personal. She's really hard on herself, but then she corrects them. So I think she's going to be a tremendous player for us for her 4 years.
Coaches don't usually look beyond the next game very often, but there's a stretch of pretty big SEC games that are coming up there will kind of help determine where this team, how successful this team's going to be on the season.
Well, I think every SEC game for us is huge. Whether it's Missouri, we go to Florida. This team cannot overlook somebody and go, oh, okay, well, we've won our first 2, well, we can just slide into the other ones. No, we've got to take every game, one game at a time, because we're young. We don't read our press clippings, so I hope they don't think they're as good as what the media says they are. But I like this team. They've been focused one game at a time, so that's going to be the process we're going to take.
In the last 2 games, when you're preparing though for a team kind of similar styles, up-tempo offense, and then you go and see a team like this that maybe you have never seen someone or a team shoot the 3 like they do or as many times as they do, is preparation a little tougher?
Well, it's different. Preparation for Missouri is different than how we prepared against Georgia. When anybody shoots the ball well and the majority of their team shoots the 3, it's a difficult guard for us because we're used to the fast-paced, up-and-down physical play, and I think Missouri has a little bit of finesse about them, but it's to their advantage. They shoot the ball extremely well, and we tend to have trouble with teams that shoot the 3 ball.
They're taking so many more threes than any other SEC team. Can you remember the last time y'all faced a team that relies this much on the outside shot?
Well, I can't remember a team that somebody hit 11 threes in one game. Yeah. So, and that wasn't against us. You seem to be against us. So, no, I mean, she's using her talent and her strength, and I applaud her, applaud the coach for that, because she doesn't have the horses to run. She's not going to run, and she's using her talent and how her game plan is to the best of their ability.
To this point in the season, has being the AC been what you thought it was going to be, what you expected it to be?
I did. I think last year was a great preparation for me, and to be able to do that with such a strong staff. And I'll tell you, it's been very enjoyable for me because of the staff I have now. I think Dean and Kyra and Jolette have just allowed me to get out here and coach, and they've taken care of some other things, but they're very knowledgeable, and so I can turn their game. It's not just my decision. I have 3 other people behind me that have a tremendous amount of knowledge and years in the game. So I've enjoyed it. The players have responded. So and that's important for me. I wanted to make sure that they understood what I was doing in the change, and they've been great.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.